Welcome to the More Than Fitness podcast.
Hello, friends, and welcome to Minisode number 55 on the More Than Fitness podcast. I have my office t-shirt on. Hold on real quick. I got to show the camera. Maybe you can see it there, right? Got a little bit of the Dunder Mifflin fam. If you're an Office fan, please send me memes of The Office, and we can talk about how amazing Michael Scott and the rest of the crew is. But we are not going to talk about The Office today, but we're also not going to talk about health and fitness today, really. I wanted to talk about money today, and this is called the More Than Fitness podcast. I know some of you couldn't give two shits about what I have to say about money, and that's totally fine. I understand, but just know that what I'm about to talk about is not me. I'm gonna refer to another finance expert, or at least with my limited knowledge. He's helped me out a lot. He's helped out a lot of people. I actually know his personal trainer. And everything he says seems legit. He also refers money to diet and exercise a lot in his book, which I will discuss in a second. But today I wanted to talk about a concept that has really changed the way that I looked at money. And that's what I love about so I'll go ahead and the book that I'm talking about. And look, the book name, he even makes fun of the name, which is hilarious because it is very, it's called I Will Teach You to Be Rich, right? Here's the book. I'm going to try and get it in frame. There it is. Yes, you can see it. I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Ramit Sethi. He's just a really good communicator whenever it comes to money. And he also, I like the way that he calls it your rich life. And the concept of money dials came from his book. I think that anybody, especially, so I'm 26, I didn't have any finance classes or anything like that. But after reading this book, I felt a lot more comfortable about the money choices that I was making whenever it comes to savings, opening up savings account, different savings account. What else? How to make conscious spending. It goes over credit card debt. It goes over lots of stuff, making a plan for weddings or having children or whatever. But his idea of a rich life is spending money on things that you want to spend money on. And then the things that you don't want to spend money on, you can cut back expenses tremendously, right? So that's kind of what money dials up. That's what money dials are. It's like, what things in life, what areas of life do you love spending money on that you're happy to turn that money dial up a notch because it brings you a lot of joy in your life. But then maybe other areas of your life you don't care as much about. So you're going to turn that money dial down, right? You're not going to spend as much money on it. And so as far as the priorities go, he has 10 listed here that people typically like to spend money on, what they gravitate towards. And the 10 most common money dials is convenience, travel, health and fitness, experiences, freedom, relationships, generosity, luxury, social status, and self-improvement. So for example, for me, I love, so the first one I'll say is convenience, right? I love convenience. Like the apartment that I'm living in right now here in Lexington, it's almost like a little city. It's more of like a luxury apartment, but also you have to think, I'm willing to spend more money on convenience and on this apartment because one, I work from home. So I'm literally self-employed. So it makes sense that the environment that I'm working in is a good one, right? I don't want to be just like locked away or be forced to have to go to Starbucks or live in a busy apartment complex where there's people always playing music or something. And I can't even record these minisodes, right? Because there's so much noise going on. But I'm happy to spend a little bit more money on things like convenience because there's a gym less than 2 minutes away from where I'm at. And then we also have, there's a Whole Foods within walking distance. There's a Walmart and a Kroger within a 5-minute drive, right? So everything that I need basically. And there's also some restaurants around here. All of these things that I really enjoy and that I spend a lot of time in my life that also gives me a lot of joy in my life, they're all very close. They're all very convenient. So I'm happy to spend a couple extra $100 a month compared to what somebody else may spend around this area. Because every time I tell people that I live here, like, oh, it's expensive to live there. I was like, well, it depends on what you care about, right? If you don't care about convenience, if you don't go to the gym, if you don't go to Whole Foods or some of these restaurants or things, like if you don't like those things as much as you like other things in life, like for instance, travel, right? I wouldn't live here if I was constantly traveling. Like I would just find a place where I could mainly just stay here, sleep, be fairly comfortable. But for the most part, I'm going to spend money on like first class tickets to travel, and I'm going to get really sick Airbnbs or hotels or something, right? Like I think that people are always so quick to judge what you spend money on, but they don't know your priorities. They don't know what you give a fuck about. Another example of convenience would be something as simple as like pre-cut fruit, right? Like I know that's something super simple, but it's much more likely for me to eat the fruit like if I don't have to cut it up beforehand. So if I get a whole pineapple, right, that's still just a fresh pineapple still in the what is even the outer layer, whatever, with the pineapple, you have to cut it up, you have to take the core out, you have to do all of that shit. I'm not going to eat that pineapple. I'm going to throw that pineapple in the trash, right? I'm just not going to take the time out of my day to actually cut that thing up. But if I buy pre-cut pineapple or same thing with vegetables, if I buy pre-cut vegetables, it's much more likely that I'm going to eat those. So I'm willing to spend the extra couple dollars to get that luxury item of the pre-cut fruit or the pre-cut veggies purely out of convenience. But then other things, right, that I don't care as much about. So things like luxury clothing items or shoes. Like I'm not a big shoe collector. I'm not a big shoe guy. I could give a fuck about that. Or having the latest, Yeezys or Gucci products or something like that. I don't care. But other people, like if they enjoy Gucci products and being more materialistic, which I don't think has a negative connotation. If that's genuinely what you love, like if you're doing it for you and not for anyone else, who's to say that that's wrong? But that luxury, the money dial of luxury, I'm going to turn down a little bit, at least in that aspect. So like with fashion and things along that sort. Don't get me wrong. I like nice clothes. I like looking nice, but I'm not about to spend $800 on a pair of shoes or something like that. So something I hope that resonates with you a little bit. I think another one, so health and fitness, just to go there with you guys. I think a lot of you hiring a coach to work with you one-on-one, to work with me, that's a luxury. That's somebody who prioritizes their health a lot. So that money dial, they may be willing to spend a couple $100 a month to work with me to make sure that they are in top shape, to make sure that their health and their movement and their joints and their overall mood on a regular basis is top notch. They want to be peak performance with their health and fitness. I think that's there's nothing wrong with that at all. Another one for me, at least, is again, this is only my experiences, but I'm giving you guys examples and why I just think that we get so caught up in what everyone else thinks is worthy of spending money on. And then if you spend money, if you, again, going back to the luxury items, if you like my girlfriend loves luxury purses and things, like shocker there, right? But she likes really materialistic purses, and I think it's absolutely insane. But it makes her happy, and she gets it for her. It's not necessarily for other people. It's like she just likes high quality handbags, right? And it's just like, who's to say just because I don't think that that's worth it doesn't mean that she doesn't think it's worth it. But in other areas, she doesn't care as much, so she can turn that money dial down, right? Another one for me is going to be food, right? Going to nice restaurants. Like I am very okay with spending $100 to $200 on a weekly basis. Sometimes I don't want to think that. What's funny? Even right there, I found myself I caught myself. I was trying to justify spending $100 to $200 a week on one meal going out with my girlfriend. And that was interesting that you just caught me right there in that instance. I was like, I had to backpedal and I was trying to justify myself for spending on that. But that's the exact point that I'm trying to get across here. Like, I want to go to the restaurant and I want to get a glass or two of wine, or fuck it, even the bottle, right? I want to get the bottle of wine without thinking twice about it. I want to order appetizers without even thinking about it. Like, I want to get an appetizer if I want an appetizer. I want to get the steak if I want to get the steak, or dessert. It's just like, I get so much joy from going and eating really good food with people I love. As far as what brings me happiness in life, restaurants and eating good food, spending it in good environments. Like, if the restaurant is nicer and things. And I'm not saying I'm being careless with this, because of course this does add up very quickly, and I can get myself, if I'm going to get myself in trouble, it's with restaurants too consistently. However, I don't want to feel, as long as it's within my budget, I'm not going to feel guilty about buying the appetizer or something, or getting another glass of wine, or getting dessert, or just it's something that I care about, and I'm okay with spending money on it, and no one else can tell me that that's right or wrong. Right. And so I just want to, I don't know. I think if you need permission to spend money on things that you love, but other people don't deem as important or as worth spending that much money on, then hopefully this video, this minisode, can help a bit. But I think if you want to learn more about money, this book, again, I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Ramit Sethi. It sounds way more cliche and cheesy and scammy than it actually is. The author makes fun of it. He really does. But it's a bestseller, and it's been a multiple New York Times bestseller for years on end. And he makes updates to the books to make sure that the information is very up to date. In the latest edition, again, I also don't get anything for this. This book just genuinely has helped me out. This is the second edition of this book, and it's all updated. I think it's literally like $10. I send this book to people all the time, and it's like a 6-week plan. Has some really good stuff in it. I highly recommend. Also, I'll put a link in the description. You guys can check it out, and also a link to this Money Dial. He also has a blog that's really good. IWillTeachYouToBeRich.com. That is awesome. I just think that there's so many people out there, especially around my age, 26 and even younger, that just don't know where to turn with money. And so if you trust my advice, and you have maybe a similar outlook on life, and what I just said resonated with you, maybe this book could be helpful for you as well. All right. So that is my amateur opinion on how to spend your money. I hope it was helpful. But yeah, as always, thank you so much for listening and for watching. See ya.